Well, that's true. I don't want to hear you talk for another hour.
Yeah, like I'm not.
Clark, oh my god.
Live.
Okay, I guess we're going then. Hello, listeners, people out there who decided they wanted to come back for a second episode of this
Hello,
podcast.
4 people.
Yes. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves for those who don't know already?
I'm Espio, random low tier player.
I'm Clark.
Man.
I'm Clark L. Another random low tier player.
And yeah, that is your Murica side of the podcast. I think I pronounced that a lot better than last time, don't you agree?
Yes. Not really, but yes.
Not really, but
Damn. Blown up already. Okay, I see how it is. It's fine. But for those of you that don't know me by the accent, I am Youphemism. I am Scottish, and I make up the Brexit part of this podcast. And the three of us are Murica Brexit. And this is a podcast where we talk about Netherrealm related topics, whether it be Injustice 2, Mortal Kombat X, or anything related to those games. Last time we covered Injustice 2, what we knew about the game from the release of the first information. What?
You did it again.
You do this all
Clark?
the time. What?
What we know about Injustice 2. You're never going to stop doing that.
Yes, I mumble up multiple thoughts sometimes. That's my bad. Yes, we were saying we were talking about Injustice 2 last time. What we knew about the game from what? You laughed again.
Because I thought you were going to say it.
Paul, next time have Trevor's ass do the shit, and then just laugh at him the entire time.
I know, I'm sorry. I got to mute my mic real quick if you're going to say that.
Oh god. You need to leave the mic.
Yeah, if you're going to say no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, last time we covered Injustice 2, all the information released about the game from when the first information about the game was available up until the story trailer came out just before the stream that happened on Tuesday night. And in that stream, we eventually got to see the Robin trailer. There were a few technical difficulties between there being no sound and it taking like a minute to start up.
There seems to be a lot of technical difficulties these days.
Yeah.
Hashtag Betagate. Go on.
Damn.
Yeah. There was a lot of Combat Netherrealms in the chat. Shout out to Combat Network. But the majority of the stream was fine. We had Ed Boon back, we had Tyler, we had Derek there as well for their, not belt battle, but now they were doing a Green Lantern battle. That was fun.
And apparently Tyler's just going to lose every round again.
Damn, no love.
Wow.
That's actually fun.
Maybe Tyler will get more practice in, maybe he'll get better, maybe he'll win some more games. I'm rooting for him. No offense to Derek.
I'm rooting for him too, I'm just saying.
Tyler the God. But yeah,
Still rooting for Derek, to be
Um,
honest.
Well, that's just how it goes. Some people root for Derek, some people root for Tyler, and the belt battles are exciting, I guess you could say. But yeah, we had the Robin trailer come out, so we finally got to see some gameplay of him, and looks like his, a good amount of tools between his teleport and his projectiles. His sword has good range, I saw Meatless launching string in there as well. What did you guys think of the Robin trailer?
I think he, like gameplay wise and moves wise, I think it was fine. Everything looked fine. It was pretty, yeah, I'm not a Robin fan, so, and like I said, I solely base my liking for a character on how they look and play. Like I said, his strings and everything look cool. I don't get why the fuck he has a sword, and I'm sure some fucking Robin geek that has read the comics since 1944 is going to be like, yeah, well, in Detective Comics
Yeah, he's gonna
39...
sound drunk. Yeah.
In Detective Comics 39, he had a sword and he stabbed people. Not my Robin. I've never seen him use a sword in my life, so that's a little off-putting to me, but it was fine.
Okay, SBO, I know you were kind of interested in Robin before, but you weren't sure how you felt. What do you think now that you've seen the gameplay?
I only like Dick Grayson, and I don't fuck with Damien. I can't deal with the hot sauce and the other nonsense associated with the character. So, but he did look interesting. I really don't see myself playing. I'm not gonna lie and pretend like I'm gonna play him, but I'm excited to see what he ends up becoming as the game develops.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll see more of him as the streams continue. We haven't got a date for the next one, have we?
They said it might be 2 weeks, but then its keyword is might, so
Yeah.
it's all up in the air still.
Yeah.
I mean, we had the countdown on the website for the last one, so you never know. Maybe someone's just not checked the website for another countdown.
Yeah, everybody's too busy clowning about the beta right now.
Yes, the beta. That was one of the revelations we found out about on the stream, that the beta was live that very night, the Tuesday night. Codes were already getting sent out, but there has been a bit of controversy surrounding the release of the codes for the beta, to say the least. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm one of those dudes that if I'm told something's going to happen, and this is probably ignorance because I didn't know up to the release of the beta, I didn't know how it was going to be done. They might have said, we're going to release codes, in waves. I didn't know that. So my thoughts was, I'm going to get the fucking beta tonight. I'm going to play this game. This is going to be cool. And then I learned that it's going to be done in waves. And I'm like, I mean, whatever. If they're going to do it in waves, that's fine, I guess. If they don't want to crash their shit. I played other games where they released all the codes at once, and it fucking went fine. Anyway, but this shit is, like, so random that we don't know when the new waves are going to come out, and it's just like, fucking the Injustice game Twitter is just like, hey, just to let you know, more codes will come out. And it sucks when you don't have a fucking code, because all you want to do is play the game, and people that do have the code is like, stop bitching. Fucking, you'll get your code. It's like, motherfucker, I want to play too.
Yeah.
So
I've noticed a lot of that.
It's funny to me that there are people that have a code telling people to not complain. Like, why would you? It's easy for you to say these things when you have stuff and you don't have to deal with it or have to just watch. But in general, from what I've been observing, I feel like a lot of people are acting really, really, really stupid about and very immature about the codes.
Well, that too, and I'm not going to be one, like I posted that video from Menace to Society. I'm not going to be the crackhead that's coming up to people, let me get a code, man, I'll suck your dick. I'm not going to be like that. I'll get my code when I get my code. I just, stop being so fucking thirsty.
Oh, God.
My thing is, like, I don't fuck with any of the characters in the beta, so I honestly don't care right now. Like, I didn't play Superman or Batman when the beta, or not in the beta for Injustice 1, I didn't even touch them.
Yeah.
Supergirl is bougie and whatever. I'm not dealing with her. Atrocitus is the only one I would probably mess with, but still don't really care about him.
Yeah. We've been seeing a lot of people talk about the character's strength right now, and that's also caused a lot of controversy with people calling for nerfs already in a beta stage with 4 characters on what's probably an older build of the current version.
That I kind of expected. I mean, yes, it's like super funny because people are fucking retarded, but I kind of expected. I kind of expected. So it's not like I'm not super surprised people are calling for nerfs already.
I think what's funny to me is, like, when the beta first came out, everybody was like, "Oh my god, Supergirl is so broken," and it was stupid then because it was like there's 4 characters, and then people were complaining about Atrocitus being terrible or whatever. Then a couple days later, holy shit, Atrocitus is brain dead and dumb. He has all these safe 50-50s. I'm like, clearly you guys don't know shit. So, like, it just looks stupid when you're saying complete opposite things like 3 days later.
Yeah, I mean, people have been saying that Supergirl, like, her teleport is just, Scorpion all over again or whatever. I mean, like, people will say that they're not going to do the same thing. We'll wait and we'll test stuff and we won't call for nerfs straight away, but they're just proving themselves wrong already.
When you call for nerfs and the game's not even out and doesn't come out for like 3 more months, it's good shit.
Oh yeah, it's very entertaining. I will take it. It's fun. It's very funny. But no, you shouldn't be calling for nerfs right now just because the game's not even out yet.
It just looks really stupid, and especially saying characters are broken when there's like 30-something characters. There's no context for how good like Atrocitus or Supergirl or whoever might not even be that good in relation to everybody else. And then on top of that, I feel like people are used to Batman and Superman, so it's easy to adapt to them. Whereas these 2 new characters have all this stuff that we've never seen before, so everybody's gonna more or less freak out about them. And Batman and Superman are pretty much unchanged.
But like you said, Blue Beetle and Aquaman could be added to the new beta, and they could fucking destroy all the characters because we don't know how good they are yet.
Yep.
Would be the dream.
Although from what I think, I'm not 100% in this, I think that when they send out the next wave of codes, it'll be for the next version of the beta, which may have more characters in it. So that could be, like, depends on who the characters are.
So just expect a bigger shit show when more characters get released.
Yeah, pretty much. everybody be like, oh, look what this guy can do, you know, this is more powerful than something in Injustice 1, or more powerful than Superman and Batman in this beta, look at it, look how ridiculous it is, this needs to be changed. But for all they know, it could already be changed because they're playing an older version of the game.
Also, meter burn roll destroys zoning. Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, meter
Since
burn
that's
rolls
a thing.
looking quite interesting, especially because it covers a lot of space. Like, it goes pretty much full screen.
I saw a couple of people do it because Rio was streaming a lot, and I saw because they were playing Superman, and obviously when you're playing Superman, if you're trying to zone, you're just going to laser all day. And I saw a couple instances where people were doing the meter burn roll to, you know, bypass the laser and try and get in. And yeah, that's going to be a fucking big problem for zoning heavy characters come forth. You know, obviously if they don't change it.
I just want to add, I was being facetious, but it might be an issue. I'm just
The meter burn roll.
I'm just saying I can see zoners getting pissed off when that shit drops. Like if it is, you know, the way I'm looking at it now. But yeah, now looking back, yeah.
I think meter burn roll, like in its current state, I think it maybe shouldn't go so far. Well, no, in fact, you know what? This is me talking about getting changes already. This isn't.
I know.
What I mean.
We just
It's
made
like,
fun of all these motherfucking people, and we're gonna do the same exact shit in 5
But
seconds.
if you guys ask for anything, I'm just leaving immediately.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna ask for anything. It's just from just thinking about it, you know, just theory in my head, because obviously I can't like test myself and be like, you know, just make decisions like that. But going full screen, going past zoning just like that, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I wasn't asking for it. I could just see zoner having heavy players bitching up a storm real quick.
Yeah.
If that's like if that turns into what, you know, you were being facetious about.
But I mean, can't they can also roll backwards too, though. So if they read somebody's gonna roll up, they can just roll backwards and then go back to throwing their projectile.
Oh, you can roll backwards?
Can't you? I thought that was
I don't know. If so, that's
I haven't seen anyone roll backwards. I'm not sure if that's a thing.
I thought that was mentioned, but maybe I'm just senile like Clark and I forgot. I don't know.
If anybody listening knows if there's a backwards roll, let us know, because, well, clearly we're unsure about it. We don't really know if it is a thing or not right now.
I'm sure they will.
That may be helpful if it is a thing. I just haven't seen it yet, personally.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like, even if it is really good right now, it might be changing. It might, like, the recovery frames might be reduced. It might have less invulnerability when it actually drops. Yeah. So I wouldn't be too worried about it right now, but there's nothing wrong with voicing, like, concerns. It's just, I wouldn't be like, oh, zoning's in deep trouble now, or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's an older build of the game. It might not be... nothing will probably be the same when the game eventually comes out in May. Also, small rant about the fact that it comes out on the 19th of May in the UK and not anywhere else. Don't know why. No,
you guys shouldn't have left the EU. Shouldn't have left the EU. That's your fault.
Well, guess what? Every constituency in Scotland voted to stay, but that's another issue. That's fine. That's politics. Let's not bother with that.
Yes, let's stay clear of politics.
But yeah, that covers the Injustice 2 beta enough, I would think. We have the 4 characters right now: Batman, Supergirl, Superman, and Atrocitus. People think Supergirl and Atrocitus are strong, or Atrocitus is weak, or something. I don't know. Whatever. It's an old version of the game. We'll see more about them when the game eventually comes out. But I think, you know, we covered Injustice 2 for the most part in the last one. We'll move on to well, I guess we can introduce ourselves a bit more in general, because I mean, it's one thing to know our names, but we should talk about how we get into the fighting game community. Espio, how did you get about it?
My story is let me try to condense this. I originally got really hyped for MK9 just because Stryker and Jade and all the classic people were returning.
Fucking hipster.
Fuck off. But anyways, I was on like MKO, which is really basic, like casual as shit. Not even throwing shade, but it's like a very casual type of MK site. And I ended up hearing about testyourmight.com. So I ended up joining, and I ended up talking to a couple people, and I decided I was going to go to Seasons Beatings, and that was my first offline tournament for MK9.
Okay.
I did okay. I ended up playing like GJ Waffles, got bodied, not surprising. But yeah, fast forward to more or less, and I also went to console combat and whatnot, but fast forwarding to Injustice, I feel like Injustice was a game where I actually ended up finding like my own, so to speak. Like I was able to compete and actually keep up with a lot of the higher level players. I wasn't just like kind of just going through, like, trying to bullshit my way through, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I ended up going to, I went to KIT and, Combo, or not, it was actually, my brain just went dead. What was Combo Breaker before? Was it,
UFGT?
Yeah, UFGT. I went to UFGT, and that was where I met a couple, I met, OG Manimal and a couple other Michigan players and whatnot. And I felt like for Injustice was like the game where I actually ended up developing as a fighting game player. I had a character that I felt fit my playstyle and whatnot.
Yeah.
And going to MKX, it's funny because for MKX I had more funds and more means to travel for MKX, but I traveled the least for MKX. The only major tournament I went to was Summer Jam, like first year, and then after that I've kind of just been chilling out. I haven't really been into the game as much.
Yeah.
And here I am. So.
Clark, how about you? How did you originally get into the FGC?
Okay, I'm gonna try and make this as short as possible because I can rant. Because it's not super interesting. I'm just saying. So I did play MK9. I didn't know anything about Test Your Might or tournaments or anything like that. So I'm a very super casual player of MK9.
Yeah.
And then I just stopped playing it when I stopped playing it. And then when Injustice came out, I'm a big comic book guy, so I was immediately drawn to it, and I played online, and I started getting, decent. I was beating people online. And then I was like, oh, fuck, is there tournaments for this shit? So I Google Injustice Gods Among Us tournaments, and YouTube comes up with some Next Level Battle Circuit videos, and I'm like, fuck, these people are good. Because they're just, they're doing some shit I've never seen before, and I'm just scrolling the internet and seeing stuff, and there's a little local place by me at the time, and I was like, I try that out. So I go there, and I don't know shit about anything, and PTH Astronaut, who has not been in the scene for a while now, I'm sure a lot of MKX people don't even know who that is. He actually was there the night that I decided to go. He was the only Injustice player there because it was all Street Fighter, and he played me, and I just got destroyed because it was the first time playing on a new, the monitors. I've always played on my big screen TV, so I couldn't even do my combos because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And then, he gave me a lot of information, told me about Test Your Might, and then that's how I got on Test Your Might, and then I started, I did start going to majors. I don't know if you consider Summer Jam and NEC and Winter Brawl majors. I don't know if people consider that because I remember that time when people were saying shit about that. Anyway, my first tournament was Summer Jam for Injustice, and I got 17th place, which was not terrible. Shut the fuck up. Which wasn't terrible for me because I was expecting to go 0-2. But I was playing Black Adam pre-patch, and I was utilizing the fuck out of that. But I ended up losing to Sabin.
Sabin,
oh,
yeah.
Sabin.
I lost to Sabin twice because he's playing Green Lantern, and I just did not have any Green Lantern matchup experience. Anyway, after Summer Jam, I asked all of the high-level players, "Hey, can I play you so I can get better experience?" And then so on and so forth. I went to a few more tournaments, and now I'm here.
That's cool. It's so it was nice to have more people in the community.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. You were saying about Green Lantern there. Just quick thing. Green Lantern has pretty much been confirmed to be Hal Jordan. There was clash dialogue between Batman and Atrocitus in the beta, where Atrocitus says he won't leave without Hal Jordan or something like that. So
that's romantic.
Yeah. I guess he's not full of hate after all. But yeah, my FGC origins. Okay. Well, I mean, MK wise, like I played MK2 when I was really young on the Game Boy Color, like. So that was like the first time I was introduced to Mortal Kombat. I was really young when that happened, and then the next Mortal Kombat game I think I played was Deception on the PlayStation 2, and that is still I think my favorite Mortal Kombat because it has one of my favorite characters in it, Havoc. I just thought it was really cool, like being a skeleton man that could do all this twisty stuff. Like people
never to be seen again.
Yeah, never to be seen again. Kind of like Fujin.
Nobody gives a fuck about Fujin.
Who is Fujin?
The wind god from Mortal Kombat.
I know.
Nobody gives a fuck though.
You wound me with your words. When the Injustice demo came out, I downloaded that, wanted to play it, and when I first played it, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to play Batman, I'm going to play Lex, and I'm never going to play a floaty character. When the game came out, I ended up playing Green Lantern.
Ew.
My second day.
Nobody can block this back one.
Yeah, I was like, literally online. It was just back 1 3 left, and if people were punching it, I was just like getting mad. Like, what are they doing? Why didn't they get hit by it? I didn't know like anything at the time. So once people started blocking back 1 3 left, I stopped Green Lantern, and yeah.
They adapt to your tactic. It's over. New character.
But when the demo came out, yeah, this is kind of embarrassing. Some people know this story, but this was before I started playing competitive. First thing you need to know is I'd never played a back-to-block fighting game before.
This is like the inception of stories. You got a story inside of a story.
It's okay. I'm gonna finish in a second.
Yo, during my story, I'm gonna tell you another story.
But, yeah, I hadn't played back-to-block fighting games before, so I wasn't really that sure of the mechanic, and I was trying to figure out how
You
to
hold
block
back to block.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
know that
mechanic.
now, but I didn't know at the time. So
Mark is such a dick.
Oh my
trying to
gosh.
block, right? So because I didn't know how the blocking system worked,
You
I
fucking hold
tweeted-
back.
I know now, but I didn't know then. So I tweeted Hector Sanchez. Shout out to him.
The fuck?
I know.
When you tweet, oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Go on.
Yeah. Yes, Hector, we love and miss you. You're an awesome guy. Shout outs to Hector. But yeah, I tweeted him when the Injustice game would come out. I asked him,
How the fuck do I hold back?
Yeah, it was no. Is there blocking in the demo? I actually tweeted that to him, and he replied to me saying, "Yes, it's back to block." And now, this is the worst part. I was playing the demo on Xbox 360, right? So I was like, you know how in the move list you could tag moves in the demo, like you pressed the Y to tag a move and it would like appear on your screen.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, basically, if you wanted to hide or show that tag move list while you were playing, you had to press the back button on the Xbox 360 controller. And can you see where this is going?
Okay.
Go on.
Well,
Mark.
basically, when Hector had told me it was back to block, I thought he literally meant the back button on the Xbox 360 controller, which was hiding and showing the tagged move.
Oh my fuck. Okay.
So, when that wasn't working, when I tried to block, I replied to him saying, "It's just showing and hiding the tagged moves." He then replied to me saying, "Ha ha ha, no, directional back," which then made a lot more sense.
See, everybody, even you can come from the most crazy situation and become a decent fighting game player.
That's not a crazy situation. You're just a dumb motherfucker.
Well, I was trying to be nice, Clark.
So, yeah, that happened in the demo, and then I eventually figured out the whole back to block thing. And,
Well, I guess to be fair, my first fighting game that I played was Tekken. So, and you have to hold back to block there. So, I guess I was a smooth transition into Injustice because I already knew how to hold back.
Oh.
Okay, wow, someone's swaggy, someone's smooth.
Although I did have that similar thing where I played Tekken and Street Fighter and stuff as a kid with MK, so it never really bothered me with the transition.
Well,
But go
yeah,
on,
eventually
Paul.
figured out. Yeah, I eventually figured out the back to block system, and now I can use it fine.
And now you
but-
can mix with the best of them with Batgirl.
I try my hardest. It's very skillful stuff, you know.
Fucking Betty Crocker bullshit.
But yeah, the actual way I got into the fighting game community was well, I was on YouTube and
I'm happy we got to this part now.
yeah, I was watching an MK9 video, and in the recommended videos at the side there was one, and it said, you know, Sub-Zero versus some character, Tom Brady versus someone else. So I was like, okay, this must be people playing the character. So I clicked it, and then I was watching the footage, and I remember it clearly. Tom Brady was playing Sub-Zero against someone, I can't remember who it was, on Shao Kahn's Coliseum. And Tom was doing this, like, he was doing a B&B of some sort. He did, like, 2-2-2 ice ball, back 1-2, 2-1-2 slide. And I saw that, and I was like, wow, that combo looks cool. I want to try that. I went into practice mode. I figured out how to do the combo from, like, testing all the strings until it did the ones that looked like the combo. and then I landed it. I was like, man, that's so cool. And my whole game plan became about what is the most effective way that I can land that combo. And then anytime I landed the combo when I played online matches, I was like, yes, I was doing the combo, yes. But eventually, somehow, I found Test Your Might, and I signed up. And yeah, after that, Scott actually saw me playing Injustice, and he was kind of interested in it, so he started playing it. And as much as I want to meme him right now and trigger him by saying that his initial main was Shazam, he ended up choosing Martian because he recognised him from the comics, and when he found out he was in the game, he was like, I want to play him. But Scott being Scott, he likes to gravitate towards the top tiers. MK9 he played Smoke, Injustice he played Martian, MKX he plays like Cassie and Smoke and whatnot, so yeah, he ended up playing Martian, and then he got into the scene, so it was me and Scott, and I was on Test Your Might, and Nivek made a thread saying, hey Scottish players, and me and Scott are talking to each other at this point thinking, we can have another Scottish guy in the scene, this is going to be amazing, there's going to be 3 people.
When he's from Greece.
Yeah, I opened the thread and he said, I'm coming over from Greece to Scotland to visit. Are there any Scottish players here to play? And I was like, oh my god, this would be awesome. Yes, Scott and I are here, that's it. But come on over and we'll play. And he came over because his girlfriend lives here in Scotland, so he was over to visit her, but decided to say hi to the NRS players in Scotland while he was here.
Those LDRs.
Sorry?
I said those LDRs.
Yeah. We met up at this gaming cafe thing in Glasgow, and we played Injustice and MK9, and it was a lot of fun. And like Clark was saying earlier about monitors, this was the first time me and Scott had played on a monitor, so we weren't used to the timing. So like we were playing Injustice, and I was playing Batman, trying to do instant air sparkle, and I couldn't do it right. I was like, oh, that's weird. It wasn't coming out, but it was obviously because we weren't used to the monitors. And then when MKX came out, we've got a few more people. We've now got Nausea, we've got Orangutan, we've got Wiggy. We've got a bunch of people now, although most of them have stopped playing MK and are just waiting for Injustice 2, which is fine.
Relatable.
Yeah. But speaking of MKX, I guess that lets us segue right into that. Let's talk about MKX. Let's talk about the game, and we'll start off on a good note. We'll start off with what we like about the game right now in its current state. Espio, what do you like about MKX so far?
Shit. I feel put on the spot. I like that game. I like that MKX received a lot more support than a lot of the other games. I like that there was 2 combat packs.
Yeah.
I enjoy Goro and Katana in small bursts, but not for prolonged periods of time. A lot of the stuff, the dialogue, the aesthetics, a lot of the strings, sound effect, like I do appreciate the game in those ways, and the balance is pretty acceptable considering how many variations there are.
That's the term, pretty acceptable. Yeah, so is that anything else you want to comment on with MKX and what you like about it, or is that just everything?
That is pretty much it.
Okay. Clark, have you played much MKX, to be honest?
Okay, so when it came out, I played the ever-loving shit out of it. I think I played hardcore, literally, like, work, come home, play it, piss off the wife, for, I want to say, like, 3 to 4 months straight of just fucking grinding the game. And after that, it slowly started slowing down because I was making YouTube videos at the time. My channel was starting to pick up a little bit, and at that time I was playing like once a week just to get a video out. And then when I just got really I was just not feeling it. That's when I stopped. In terms of what I liked about it, I don't know much about it now, so I can't comment on it now. But when I played it, I think the big cast of characters was cool. For the most part, the new characters were cool because I ended up playing Kodal towards the end. Mm-hmm. The cover was cool. When I went to go download it on my PS4, it downloaded really fast, and that's about it.
I'm done.
Okay. Wow.
Let's get to the bad shit quick.
Paul, what do you like about MKX before we...
MKX? I actually like the variation system. I think it was an interesting choice of mechanic to try and implement, and the fact that there's 3 different ways to play characters is it's a good idea. I like that there was obviously support for the game as well, like Espio mentioned. I like that they were showing some support, especially because Scotland got an MKX Cup stop 4 days after the release of the game. And, well, the 4 days after the release of the game part's kind of crap, but it was good to actually have something there to show that, you know, they know that Scotland's there. You know, they also gave a £10,000 pot bonus to Hype Spotting, which was also great, showing more support for the Scottish scene, recognising that we are out there, although there's very little of us.
What the fuck do you like about the game, motherfucker?
Yeah, I'm just trying to. I'm getting there. I like
Jeez.
that.
Clark is literally white Samuel L. Jackson, but go on.
You know what? That's not the first time I've been called that, so...
I like the design of some of the variations. You know, there are a lot of interesting, different variations that didn't really seem like anything I'd played in MK9 or Injustice 1, so it was pretty cool to play some of those variations and, you know, get to explore some of the maybe lesser played variations. Like, variations I played more often were stuff like Hat Trick, Kung Lao, or Special Forces Sonya. I also like that they did take on board one of the suggestions that I'd mentioned for Hat Trick, and that they should tone down the scaling of the EX Hatterang, because that scaled so heavily in combos. You were getting like 29% for a bar. It was terrible.
Worth it.
And hold that Hat Trick community for telling me I was wrong. I like that they took a lot of time to design the variation system. I'm just trying to think of what else I like. I'm really trying.
What did you even just say?
I don't know. He's fucking just googling his words like it's fucking soup.
Those weren't words. That was just me acknowledging the game with yep, yeah, just yep.
Okay, can we get to the other shit now?
Let's get to what we don't necessarily like as much about the game. Espio, you can start off with that.
Oh, jeez. Gosh, I don't know where to begin. Well, first of all, I don't like the variation system. Not even a little bit. I feel like a lot of characters ended up getting watered down in a lot of ways, and they didn't feel as unique or as fun to me. Partially, I feel like because of variations as a whole.
You think maybe they were lacking in tools a little bit because they were split between variations?
I feel like that's part of it, and I also feel like they didn't make as cohesive of characters because of that.
Okay.
Whether it's Assassin Katana or whatever, I feel like if I'm playing Assassin or whoever, I feel like there's something missing. Or if I'm playing some other character, there might be something else I feel is missing. Everybody just felt very watered down to me.
Okay.
When I look back on MK9 or Injustice, and people go, "Oh, rose tinted glass" or whatever. In hindsight, I felt like I could still go play Hawk Girl, Martian Manhunter, even Doomsday, and I feel like I'm getting a different experience every time I play a different character.
All right.
And same with MK9, even though they didn't have necessarily maybe all the unique jump arcs and whatever.
Yeah.
The other thing for me that I don't like the run button. I don't feel like people should be able to run in on you, because the thing is, there's too many advancing mids. There's a lot of mix-ups and whatnot, and people like to say, "Oh, when Justice had a bunch of set play," which might have been true, but again, there was no run button, and mobility wasn't that great for most characters, so you weren't just going to be, "Oh, you're on the other side of the screen, I'm going to, run in on you and then start my bullshit."
Yeah.
And this one that really bothers me, the amount of low profiling in the game.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have a problem with low profiling. Like, Catwoman had low profiling in Injustice, and, Melina, and, certain characters have low profiling. But it's so rampant in MKX that I honestly get so aggravated playing pretty much anybody. Like, it's not fun to me that somebody can be at minus frames, and because their poke goes under, like, let's say my down one, I can't even poke back, even though I'm at advantage.
Mm-hmm.
It just to me, it's bad design, and it's like safe pokes, like 6-frame pokes that go under stuff, and there's just no reason for it to me.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Clark, what do you... Well, I mean, from what you know of the game, what do you not like about it?
So I'm going to piggyback a little bit on the variation system. When it first was introduced, before the game came out, I was like, that's pretty cool. I think it was a cool thing to introduce. But after playing it, I have to definitely just agree with what Espio said in terms of every character felt watered down. They didn't feel like a complete character. And then just in general hindsight, I don't like the variation system at all. Just fucking have your character. That's the character. Fucking play the character. So, and I don't know what Injustice is doing because I haven't caught up, honestly, with all the news in terms of the gear system. But if the gear system is like a version of the variation system, I'm going to fucking shit on that too because I just want to know what I'm getting into. With MK9 and Injustice 1, it's just, that's the character. I don't fucking like all this variation shit. It's annoying.
And then it's harder to learn matchups too because there's so much nuance and changes when somebody changes it to a different variation too. That makes it so much harder than if you were to play a game with just 30 characters because it's like triple of that, what you would have normally gotten.
Yeah, but in a lot of variations, and it's funny because a lot of variations just didn't get used. Everybody just used the best version of that character or the best variation of that character for the most part.
So they basically could have just, it was almost wasteful in a way.
Yes. I think I might get a little bit of shit for this just because I think people do praise it. I don't like the graphics of MKX at all. I said it last time. It just looks weird to me. I told after the end of a match, like the winning screen of whoever your character is, they're all sweaty, and the sweaty just looks like sweat balls on their body. It just looks fucking weird to me. So the graphics in itself just turns me off because it just looks fucking weird.
So do you have a sweat phobia?
Well, yeah. I don't know who likes sweat. It's fucking gross. Bring me back to my first tournament experience. I've never been in a room that I needed a fucking oxygen mask in my life. When I first walked into that ballroom of my first tournament, I was about to fucking choke on myself. Fucking wear deodorant, motherfuckers. That is so gross. Sorry, but yes, sweat phobia, I guess. But anyway,
if you have the money to get to a tournament and you can't buy soap or toothpaste,
I'm not saying you gotta smell like a French whore. Just bathe. Sorry for blowing up whoever doesn't bathe, but motherfucker, you are killing my nostrils. So graphics I don't like. I'm trying to think of what else I don't like because I just don't like the game. It's not that I was bad at it. I was mediocre as I always was. Same in Injustice. Like I was beating people. It's just the feel of it. I don't know. And going back to what you say about MK9, they all had the same jump arc. I kind of like that. Injustice didn't, and it was fine. But I don't.
The other thing that and people will probably say this, they're like, because I've heard people say this on the forums, they're like, if you don't like the game, you probably haven't followed it or stopped playing. And I feel like that's unfair because while the game has gotten better over time, I still think a lot of the core issues still remain with the game that put off a lot of people.
Maybe. I don't know. I think it was the characters that did it to me the most, though, the variation system. I just didn't give a fuck about it. Like I said, I thought it was cool at first, but when I started playing it, it just wasn't for me. Graphics really turned me off for some reason.
Clark is so extra right now about the sweat graphics. Oh my goodness.
It's fucking gross. It's just a bad game. It is. It's bad. And I'm sorry. That's what I was fishing for in my little brain of mine. So MK9's broken, sure. Injustice had some 50-50 issues in terms of Batgirl and shit like that. And I get it did have 50-50 issues, but this fucking took the cake, man. It was just, every character was fucking Batgirl, and I didn't like that. And that's at least how I felt when I stopped playing. It just, except for, because I played Kodal, and he didn't, gosh, what did he have?
Giving you that mixer.
Yeah, and I don't want to play a character that does have a billion mix-ups. Black Adam did not have a low starter, and I love that. He really didn't. He did have the low lightning, which was, considered a mix-up because it took a lot of damage. But I'm not into that whole super 50-50 shit. I get the jumping over and all that stuff, but I'm not into the whole every fucking character has a low starter and a high starter. How are you going to approach this? It's every character's Batgirl, and I don't fucking like that. It's so stupid.
And I feel like that in general is bad for, like, anything.
And
whether it's like
don't hit me with that shit. Yeah, don't hit me with that shit there. Well, Street Fighter has 50-50s because you gotta jump over and you don't know what side they're gonna be on. Sure, but
it's just
my mind hurts.
it's the homogeny of the fact that so many characters have it that it ceases to be an interesting playstyle.
Yes. And
like Batgirl was stupid, but at least she wasn't like you didn't have like 20 people that could do what she could do.
No, you had a few. But, and then the other thing is, my ideal, and this is just me being egotistical, my ideal fighting game is you either have a good low starter or a good high overhead string starter, or you know, say your character has a really good overhead starter. He might have a low starter he might have a low string that is not the start, you know, might be the end, so you do have time to block it. That's not super 50-50 based. I just feel like you should either have an overhead starter or a low starter, so it doesn't feel like this. So it doesn't feel like every character's Batgirl. If that makes any sense.
It does. I'm just gonna say one more thing, and then we'll let Paul go. But what I find interesting is I've had people like, obviously this was like Katana a couple patches ago, but people would go, "Wow, guys!" They would post in the Katana forums to go, "Wow, guys, what's her 50-50 starter?"
Yeah, that's not good.
I'm like, you should be able to open up a person without a 50-50. There's string staggers, there's throws, there's like you can like do something, but that's slightly plus and then walk back.
That's more my kind of thing. I like that. I like throw being a part of the 50-50. I like the, you know, you have to space out your moves, not fucking run up on somebody and be like, "Hey, bitch, am I going to hit you with the overhead or the low right now?" You got to have a little bit of skill to fucking, you know, I know he's going to whiff here.
That's why I played Katana primarily, but I just feel like that's very telling of the approach people took with MKX, because everybody just expected there to be a specific, what's their overhead, what's their low starter. That was what people asked about. Actually,
that's funny that you say that, because I remember people saying Kung Lao, like the very first day, Kung Lao's so bad, he only has an overhead, he has no low mix-up. I'm just like, he's like the best character in the game, you dumb bitch.
It's so linear to think that way, too, and it just blows my mind. I can't even rationalize it. Paul, you want to jump in?
Yeah, so MKX, what don't I like? Well, pretend I'm cracking my fingers because I have quite the list. Let's start with...
of course you do! I'm going to be here for another 20 minutes!
Well, just basically...
what I don't like about MKX, well, me and my friend Scott, we were getting yogurt at Froyo, and fucking...
Oh my god.
I remembered one last thing that I like about the game, though. I like Wake Up Throw. I like that it's an option. It gives you something when the person's, you know, sitting there blocking, expecting you to do a wake up. Wake Up Throw is pretty effective. I like that it was implemented. But that's backing things I like. This is things I don't like about the game. So let's start with it being 50-50 central. I think it was pretty undeniable that there were a lot of 50-50s when the game came out. There were even hard to blockables with Summoner Quan who could just loop it over and over. That kind of stuff was frustrating. And yes, even though I played Batgirl and Injustice, it doesn't mean that I liked the whole 50-50s coming into MKX.
But Paul, if you were a good player, you could just avoid all of them, because you'll never get opened up if you space them out perfectly. I was like, okay.
Didn't Quan Chi have a vortex in MK9?
Yeah.
Rune Trap was pretty much guaranteed. Like if he caught you on something, he could do the string into Rune Trap.
Yeah.
It was pretty dumb.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But he was considered a bad character, yeah.
Well, he was considered mid-tier. He wasn't considered that bad. But
okay.
Look, he had a good uppercut. He had...
Stryker had a good uppercut. He fucking sucked.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. Sorry, back to MKX. Things I don't like about MKX. Defensive options. Why do they cost more resources than offensive options? Backdashes. Mostly terrible. Well, mostly not great. I would have liked to see a bit more invincibility in backdashes.
That's
so that
another
more
thing. I didn't like
better
that.
Defensive options. Sorry?
That's another thing. I forgot. Yeah, I didn't like that either. Ugh.
Yeah, backdashes. And I think another defensive option that was universally like, why is it the way it is? Block breakers. Why were they also not ever changed? This was something that the community brought up a lot of the time. Block breakers suck. Block breakers should not be 2 bars and full stamina. That's just too many resources just to get someone off you. That's another thing I didn't like. Block breaker was it just cost too much. You know, push blocking Injustice is 1 bar. Why can't it be 1 bar on MKX?
Also, why does it cost more energy to like step backwards, like barely step backwards, than it does to run up like a psycho? Like if you use like basic logic, it'd be like, bro, if I ran, I'd be tired by the time I got to you, as opposed to me walking backwards and I have half stamina gone already.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to play a game that doesn't have running or backdashes take up fucking stamina. I'm so excited to play a fighting game again that doesn't have that shit.
Things nobody has time for.
Yeah.
I guess that's another couple of things. The run mechanic and the stamina bar. Two things that I just felt limited so much. I was just so frustrated using it sometimes, and it was really annoying. I don't like it, and I know there are other players that didn't really enjoy it as well. It made Fusies a little harder as well, because you had to consider spacing of them running into a normal as well, and
Jumping.
Or jumping, yeah. It was just messy. But here's some of the meat and bones of why MKX wasn't the greatest for me. The balance changes, some of the things that they decided to do. Firstly, I'm gonna go on a tiny rant here about Ermac, because people who know me know that I fucking hate Ermac, mainly because I play Nausea every week at our local.
And he's putting the smack down on you.
No, actually, not all the time. There are certain characters. You know, I have the opportunity to play, you know, a lot of variations against Nausea. Nausea gets a lot of matchup experience from playing me when I'm playing different variations. So it gives me a lot of room for experimentation, see what matchups work for me, what characters have tools to deal with Ermac well. But Nausea means Spectral, which is not a variation that's used too often, at least over in America. I think Nausea is pretty much the premier Spectral right now, because not many other people use them. Maybe too easy a bit, I think, as well. But I think the Air Max in America mainly play Mystic. But Spectral just Spectral was on some level before the October patch. It was a very good variation, but it had counters, because that was actually a variation I was okay with playing balanced Kenshi in. That's how before the October patch I felt it was in an okay state, because I could use balanced Kenshi against Spectral and I felt okay doing that. But then came the October patch, where they got rid of stuff like armored launchers, and I feel like Ismail's saying this, but the fact that I can't do stuff like EX Rising Karma through the Spectral gaps now, I don't want to play balanced in that matchup anymore. I don't want to play balanced at all. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, balance is bad. Just Ermac, Spectral shot up the tier list and nobody talked about it. I don't understand why people do not talk about Spectral Ermac right now, because he's absolutely ridiculous.
Because people are fixated on the other variation that's doing work for people right now.
See, that's the thing. They're not even talking about Mystic as much. They're talking about Possessed, and I just don't think Possessed is what Spectral is. Don't get me wrong. Possessed is really strong. Possessed is obviously in a much better place now, and he obviously got an advantage from the armored launchers nerf the same way Spectral Ermac did. But no one is talking about Spectral Ermac. His corner game is absolutely ridiculous now.
What don't you like about MKX, motherfucker?
Yeah, that's Ermac. I'm telling you, Ermac, I don't like.
Oh my god.
He has
I'm about to cry.
Yeah, and that leads me into the next point. Whiffing issues as well. They didn't get fixed. Like hat trick against Ermac, 1-1-2-1-2 spin doesn't hit unless he's wearing a specific costume. It's double costume specific. Why is that a thing? That's so annoying. And it didn't get fixed. Instead, they just went, "Oh,
you really hate Ermac."
Instead. Sorry.
I said you really hate Ermac.
And the changes, the balance changes, they gave characters more 50-50s instead of buffing the areas that they might not have been considered as strong in. For example, Cybernetic. I played Cybernetic since day one of MKX, and I dropped him when MKXL came out because I just couldn't be bothered with it anymore. The only change I thought Cybernetic ever needed was a slight damage increase, and they never gave it to him. What they gave him instead was a faster up laser, which doesn't matter because his anti-air game is not weak. They gave him an overhead air ball. Like, Cybernetic is not supposed to be a 50-50 variation necessarily, and they gave him overhead air ball. I was like, all you had to do was give him a little more damage, and I thought I had a perfect matchup chart, for a decent character. Not too strong, not too weak. Fine. That would have been absolutely fine. If they'd just given him a damage boost and kept him, that would have been it. That would have been it. I'd have been fine with Cybernetic. I would have stayed with Cybernetic. But instead, they gave him overhead air ball. They gave him faster up laser when his anti-air game was already really strong. It's just some of the changes don't make sense. They also made Ancestral's low arrow safe, giving him more safe 50-50s when he has fire or vampiric arrow out between a string into low arrow or a string into EX flip. So safe 50-50s in Ancestral now, instead of,
I'm starting to notice a trend when you're going to each character and each variation, as we are, because we won't be done for another 18 hours. They added more 50-50s to the characters.
The changes were, instead of necessarily fundamental, quote-unquote fundamental buffs, they were 50-50s instead.
Well, that's what a lot of people asked for, too. Because that's what the game has done to, like, certain people's mentalities about the game.
Yeah,
if your character doesn't have set play or some type of unneeded mix-up to open people up, they're not good, nobody wants it. Huh?
Shout outs to the Katana community, forward to overhead.
Objection, because me and Chaotic and everybody else usually blew everybody up for that. And it's usually the bad Katana players.
Pretty sure Chaotic was one of the people who recently mentioned that Katana doesn't have a 50-50 now, though, although our back two is buffed. So
I mean, it's kind of it's a 50-50 now, but if that's like the most like mild 50-50 you can imagine, because one of the options leads to nothing.
Yeah,
well, I won't say nothing. But...
Come on, at least a knockdown. She gets okay from that.
I'm not. But what I mean by nothing is it doesn't lead to a combo.
Yeah, back two doesn't lead to a combo, sure, but it's still a threat. It's still a 50-50. It's still a mix-up, you know.
Right. I mean, that's what I'm getting. Like, that is a very mild.
Yeah. But,
Clark, I will come to where you're at and body you right now.
Yeah. Okay, don't worry, Clark. There's only two more things. And
there's only two?
Yeah, there's only two more things I can think of that I don't like about.
Clark, you got this. You can do it.
The last thing being the inconsistent changes in the balance patch as well, right? Air Forward 1 is overhead, right? They nerfed that from 16 to 23, I believe it was, which is slower than his Forward 4, which is hilarious. But they made Air Max overhead 16 frames, which is what Aaron Black's was. So if Aaron's wasn't fine at 16, why is Air Max fine at 16? Doesn't make sense. Anyway, the armored launchers, like, I felt like armored launchers demanded a sort of respect from people. I thought it made people play slightly more defensively because there was the threat of an armored launcher coming, but I can understand why people felt that it was too offensive, and that's why they wanted it nerfed, because people would just do quote-unquote random armored launchers and get a full combo. But I felt like it made people play slightly slower because they were scared of it, but it doesn't matter, it's changed now, so that's fine.
I hate how people said it was scrubby, but if you just blocked, you would eventually either get a punish or get your turn.
Exactly. It's like, you block it, like, sorry you don't get free offense, that doesn't make armored launchers bad, it means you have to make reads.
And see, I don't actually, like, I play Goro and I don't honestly care, because I was never carried by that anyway.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like it made, like, oh shit, Goro's so stupid, you can't play the game against him ever, type of deal. Yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah, Clark, guess what? Last thing.
You said two things left. This is the third.
This is the last thing. The last thing.
Clark is about to choke you out through the fucking internet. He's like, you lied to me.
No, the very last thing that I don't like about the game. Where the fuck is Virgin?
Oh, shut up.
Did you really just say
two combat packs, no Fujin, no Havoc, but we get Boraicho and, oh my god, Leatherface. Who asked for that character? When I saw the Kombat Pack 2 trailer, I didn't even know who he was.
Honestly, the only thing I will say...
I'm not a big fan of guest characters, but I don't give a fuck about Fujin either.
I just don't get why Boraicho would get in over Sindel, Fujin. Yeah. There's just a plethora of characters that Shang Tsung, like, you could have put in anybody that people actually asked for over him. And people will go, oh, we asked for Bo, but guess who? Most of the people that quote-unquote asked for Bo on the forums don't even play him. Tom Brady asked for him, doesn't play him because he's not good, or whatever reason was given. So there was no point.
Yep, that's...
I feel like somebody's going to tag Tom now and be like, Sir, Espio's talking shit, but I'm really not. Like, I'm just saying.
Anyone listening could probably do it if we don't. But I think we covered MKX enough. I think we blew up MKX a bit. So I mean, unless there's anything else you guys want to talk about, I guess we can end it here if you like.
Just a couple things.
Sure.
Some blow-ups that I have to do.
Go for
it. I wasn't going to, but like I don't know.
What do you mean you weren't going to and now you're gonna do it?
Well, I was thinking about being nice, but you know, whatever. Did you guys see Awkward's Lost post on his profile?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
About the fucking beta, like, about people not having his back or whatever?
Yep.
People, like, he does stuff for people in the community, but they don't do stuff for him.
What does he do for the people?
basically because he'd like helped fund people to get to tournaments and stuff like that, he was expecting something in return for that.
Well, shit, man. I mean, I can kind of get, getting upset about that, but this is the internet. Ain't nobody gonna do shit for you. They're gonna take that shit and run.
But let's put this in context. It was tied to the beta code, and him and Indecisive will say it wasn't, but Indecisive made a post on his profile talking about Tweety got a beta code and Sloth didn't, and even though Sloth's done so much and blah blah blah. So if it doesn't have anything to do with the beta code, that's very suspect because they both made a status crying about it indirectly.
Yeah.
And I like that all I said on the post was when you do stuff for people, you shouldn't necessarily expect anything back, especially from strangers, because sometimes when you help out your family and friends, they don't do shit back for you.
Yeah.
So to expect strangers to do shit for you is outrageous to me. So he got all pissed and shit. But the bottom line is nobody should be acting stupid over a beta code or any of it or whatever other stupid shit.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you feel that heartbroken about somebody not having your back, just don't help them anymore. Yep. Don't try to say, "Oh, Espio, you think you're so much better than people and you're holier than thou." Yeah. No, I'm not. Like I don't think any of this shit. All I'm saying is
you righteous bitch.
Like if somebody doesn't help you out, don't fucking help them out again.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, blow up the person that did you wrong. Don't try to, talk shit to me when I didn't even do anything to you.
I mean, I sucked Paulo's dick. I didn't get a beta code.
Damn, used. And like I said, I was mostly trolling anyway with my one comment about the beta codes. But like I said, even if I got a beta code, I would give it to Sloth right now. That's how little I give a shit about people getting mad about this petty nonsense. Like if it's that important to people, they could have mine, honestly.
You ain't getting shit till wave 54.
I mean, I'm not cool enough. I'm just literally the irrelevant, like, mid-level player that doesn't do anything in tournaments, so I can't have one. So, yeah. The other person I need to blow up is Invincible Salads.
Who the fuck is that?
Listen, this dude is
Who
always...
Who the fuck is Invincible Salads?
Who is that?
He's a poster on TYM that posts, like, goofy ass...
Is he new, or has he been here?
Kinda new.
He came here for MKX or whatever.
Okay.
But the dude has this, like, weird ego, and it just drives me insane.
Dude,
like, you'll see him post
I eat that shit up. I don't care if you're a super top player, or if you're a mid-tier character, or mid-tier player, or you're a shitty of the runt litter player. I love when people get egos, because that shit is so funny to me. Go ahead.
It is funny to me, but, like, he's sitting there posting on his profile, like, oh, yeah, I'd body anybody. And I'm sitting there like, dude, I don't even play MKX, and you can't even get, like, 2 games off of me out of, like, 30. So, confused. And, like, I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, I suck at MKX, and I will be the first to say I'm not good at the game. I'm not anything special. The only reason why I even beat people is because I have okay fundamentals. That's it. And he was posting in the beta, too, talking about, oh, yeah, maybe Batman needs buffs or some shit, like, downplaying Batman in the beta. I'm like, what the fuck? No, everybody's on one right now. I don't know what the deal is over the beta, but the beta is not that serious to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to play it, but
I do too.
I'm not gonna bitch.
Look, I want to play it too, but you're not like if you were to call me out on my whining, I would be like, "Fuck you, you holier than thou asshole," or whatever, because it's not that serious to me.
Yeah.
I'll play it in May if I don't get a beta code, and that'll be the end of it. Life goes on. Like. Yeah. There's people with actual problems in the world, and people are like, I can't believe I don't have one. This is bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm done ranting.
Okay, well, I'm going to give a quick shout-out / blow up to all the ball-gargling dick riders flossing their teeth with the top players, and we're going to go straight to the outro. You're done here for today. I think we have a solid hour at least of MKX.
I got to stop you right there.
What?
Okay, seriously?
Yeah.
If anybody from Netherrealm's listening to this, I know you already got all your characters that you're going to put in. Please put Black Adam in the game. Please put Black Adam in the game. Please.
I think you're a little late. Like Pig has been saying multiple times, the roster's decided a long time ago.
No, I know. But I'm asking for like a last minute, like, if he ain't in the game, just put him in real quick.
As DLC.
Yeah.
Maybe.
One of the next.
No, yeah, I know they've had the characters for a while. I'm just being very, very, very petty, and like I just really want him in the game. I'm just saying he should.
I forgot you made that drunk thread about put Blank Man in the game. Fuck you. Yes, we do want him.
Well, no, because when I was typing it out, when I was all belligerent on my computer and shit, I'm just like, oh, everybody's making these we want a character thread. I'm gonna make one for Black Adam. And the first thing I thought of was like, everybody's gonna be like, no, we don't. That's why I added the little subtitle. I was like, fuck you, yes we do.
Clark is so petty. Oh my god.
No,
I will please just Fujin for MKXI, please. Netherrealm, please. Why? Just please.
Nobody cares about Fujin.
I actually want Candyman, Chucky, and another horror character.
Isn't Chucky already in Injustice 2?
Oh gosh, I feel bad for Supergirl's face. Oh, I mean, not for me, I don't care about it getting fixed because that shit doesn't matter to me. It's just like the amount of like blowing up and ragging on shit people do.
Yeah. Oh, real quick question. Side note, because I haven't been around the community a lot lately, I'm just starting to come back because Injustice is coming back. Is there any I'm sucker for this shit. Is there any big beefs going on right now? Is everybody kind of cool, or because I remember at the end of Injustice before MKX, just a shitstorm of shit was going on with Pig getting whatever locked out of TYM and East Coast tournaments and shit like that, and you had the Pig fans versus whoever didn't give a fuck, and then all this shit. Is anything like that going on right now?
No, we don't have the Green Power Revolution versus whoever right now.
Yeah.
It's mostly just mid-level players and random people saying dumb shit right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's pretty much it's like in college or high school when you're just in class and people just say stupid shit and you're just like, why am I here? That's all they do.
No big shit though.
Yeah.
Not right now. It's coming.
I cannot wait till Injustice comes out because that shit's gonna blow up real quick.
I'm gonna troll so hard in this game. Oh, that's the one thing I want to say to people. Anytime I blow people up on the forums, people get really take it so personal and get so mad. But it's I don't even dislike any of the people I'm actually blowing up. I'm just letting people know shit.
Why are you so argumentative?
I mean, I'm just saying because I remember I've called people out before and they're like, all Espio does is bully me and shit. I'm like, no, you say stuff that's not true, and then I correct you and you get mad. I'm not mad at anybody. I just need that to be said because some people take it too personal.
Yeah, I don't have any grudges against anybody. I don't hate anybody. I mean, I have one guy I ignore from back in Justice 1 days. But
who is it and for what?
If you're taking shit personally on the internet, you are using the internet wrong anyway.
No, it's just that his posts are so every post is just ad hominem crap. There's nothing constructive, nothing intelligent. It's just him trying to impose his manliness on the rest of the community.
It sounds like me.
Paul,
so cringe.
Oh, Paul, I know who it is.
Yes, you do, but guess what?
If you don't say their name, I will right now.
No,
say who it is.
What we'll do is, we will save that name for next time, for more blow-ups, because I know that you were thinking about doing blow-ups next time.
Damn, I mean, I'm not that mad at
Yeah, I know. Yeah. We can make that something for next time.
All I will say is he has a very strange fixation with some of the gay community. I'm not sure why. he might be telling on himself. But
who the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, you'll find out next time, Clark.
Yeah, we out. Peace.
Actually, no. Reiterate though. Don't talk like me. You can't be this cool. Reiterate.
You said you were cool.
I am so cool. I'm cool in the way that I'm not cool, but I'm kind of cool, if that makes any sense.
Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out.
I am not a cool person, but in that I am kind of cool. You know what I'm saying?
Paul, is he what the fuck?
I'm pretty sure he's drunk or something. Anyway,
no, I meant reiterate the guest thing again. If anybody really wants to see somebody on the show that we can try and get because we're all low tier bitches, just let us know.
Yeah, we need someone to up our reputation. We need this to be the most Hollywood shit ever. So if you want anyone, we need to get to a point where we need to start declining people because we are too Hollywood for them to be on this podcast.
Yeah.
Is that what this is?
Yeah.
Nah. But if you guys out there listening have any suggestions, any people you want to see in this podcast,
Anybody that you think would either clash or gel with our personalities.
yeah, just let us know. You know,
Because
if there's any
apparently
topics.
we're a weird group of people.
We're done. We're done here. We're done here. This is the outro.
We're done.
Thanks for listening. If you have any guests you want to see, if you want any topics to be discussed, feel free to let us know. We're more than open to suggestions right now. You know, we're only in episode 2, but let us know. And yeah, I guess we'll be here next time. Anything you want to say as we're leaving here, Espio, Clark?
Have a great night. Like nothing.
Yeah.
I said enough.
Go fuck yourselves.
Wow. Okay. I guess that'll do then. Later.
Yes.